Hey, welcome back. So it's been a while since I made a video. Honestly, I was not feeling the vibe of making videos, and I was like, I need a break. And I was working on some other stuff, so I figured, I'll come back and make a video related to the stuff I was working on. I was actually going through my portfolio of native crypto that I bought back in 2020, and I didn't sell during the last bull run. I intended to just hold on to it, and so I decided to take a look at it. It's been a long time since I looked at it, so I was going through and kind of evaluating where things are at and what I think things could do in my portfolio moving forward. And I was really surprised at how well things have performed with some of the cryptos that I got into in 2020. Like this, it's crazy. I'm gonna talk about a number of the top cryptos that I'm in, native cryptos, and why I think they're good ones, good quality tokens to invest in and coins to invest in for this bull run. I think they're going to do well. And I'll probably do a separate video where I talk about some of the more speculative tokens that I'm in, because I'm into several of them, but they're a much smaller percentage of my portfolio. They have potential upside that could be crazy. There's a lot of unknowns, don't get me wrong. They could be just monsters, but they are much more speculative. So this video, I'm going to focus on the cryptos that I think are quality projects to invest in, that I think can do well, that I think could really help change your life in a positive manner during the 2025 bull run, because most altcoins are going to start pumping in 2025, beginning of 2025, maybe a little bit earlier in 2024. And I mean, we're not exactly sure the timetable, but I'm guessing that's probably when we're going to see major moves with a lot of the cryptos is in 2025, starting like in January or something, or maybe in December of this year too. I don't know. But sometime in that time frame, I think they're going to do really, really well. A lot of these cryptos have done well, even in crypto spring here. All cryptos, with the exception of one that I'm in, man, took a dump during crypto winter, but one didn't, and it's the first one I'm going to talk about. It's the biggest holding that I have, actually, in native crypto. It's the biggest one, and what I didn't intend it to be, but it's because it has gone up so much since I got into it, and that is Fetch AI. Fetch AI. This is ticker symbol FET. It's an ERC20 token. It's in the AI, artificial intelligence space. I think it's done phenomenally since I got into it, and it's just crazy gains. I mean, even though we're not in the bull run yet, crazy gains. And with what I and others think FET can do, in the coming bull run, man, it's going to be crazy. Now, Fetch right now is about $1 a token. So, and a lot of people think it can get up to $7, $10, maybe even $20 a token. So that's like a 7 to 20x from where we're at right now. That's a pretty solid return, pretty nice return, quality project. Again, I think this is a project that's gonna be around for a long time. I think it's, the artificial intelligence play is a pretty big one. We've seen this talked about in stocks a lot, like with Nvidia, right? And so Fetch AI is, I think, one of the leading ones out there that is a good one to get into. Now, Fetch AI, it's gone through a little bit of drama in the past couple months, but I think it's going to do fine in terms of being a solid investment moving forward. But definitely a good one. I'm also into a much smaller position, AGIX, and I got into that last bull run because I was like, well, this seems like AI. I'm not sure exactly what it is. I'll put a little bit into it. I don't have a very big position in AGIX. I have a much bigger position. My number one position of all the cryptos in my portfolio is Fetch AI, FET. You can get Fetch, actually, by the way, on Coinbase. You should be able to get it on Binance too. You can swap out for it on using MetaMask on Uniswap. And if you've got Trust Wallet, you can swap an Ethereum or ERC20 token for FET, F-E-T. So if you're interested in Fetch AI. Okay, so the next one that is on my list, let me just pull up my Trust Wallet here, because this is where I've got these things listed. I'm going to forget the order of things. Okay, so the next one, biggest holding is QNT. Quant is I think also a very solid, rock stable project that is going to do very well. And some of the estimates out there that Quant right now is priced at about $100 a token. And the estimates out there that it could get between $1,000 and $5,000 for a high point during the bull run. So that's a 10 to 50x, from where we are. So Quant, I think, is a solid crypto project to get into. Now, Also, by the way, I wanted to mention, it's like there are a lot of people that watch my videos that are not only grayscale investors, but are native cryptocurrency investors. And so if you're a native cryptocurrency investor, you might be already in some of these positions yourselves, or might be interested in opening a position in these ones that I talk about, or potentially what you could do is rotate from LTC and a BCHG into native crypto into some of these projects to enhance your gains. So you could rotate out of LTCN, for example, and into Fetch. Now, if you do this, just as I've noted before, like, you've got to really watch what happens with the price action of any crypto that you're getting into. You want to make sure that it's still fairly low, that it hasn't rocketed yet, and to take advantage of the additional gains you can get there in the native cryptocurrency space. That is an option. Then you could rotate into late stage movers like Mana, like Shiba Inu, and then eventually onto Bitcoin if Bitcoin is still low enough where we think we can get a good return out of this. But anyway, so that's a little bit of a divergence, from what I was talking about with native crypto tokens, but definitely something to keep in mind. It is something to keep in mind. Like, if you're in, however, like if you're in a Roth IRA, a SEP IRA, or a UTMA account, you're kind of locked in there. You can't take the money out to rotate it into native crypto. But if you're in a taxable brokerage account, you can take the money out, your profits from LTC and a BCHG out of your brokerage account, put them into native crypto if that's the play that you want to make for your stage 2, which is cool. That's a great way to do it. All right, so the third top one that I'm into crypto wise is DENT. DENT, not Dentacoin, not the dental coin, whatever the hell it is. DENT. This is DENT Wireless, DENT. It's an ERC20 token. It it's performed really well since when I first got into it in 2020. It's really well, and the estimates out there, let me just pull up the estimates, like what people are thinking DENT could do. Anywhere from like a 15x to a 70x is a potential for DENT. So it's got incredible potential. So I really believe in it. I think it's a really good one to get into. I'm swapping between my Trust Wallet and my predictions, like because I've looked on Twitter and on YouTube and elsewhere for people's predictions, what they think the different cryptos can get up to. So I have to swap back and forth to remember all these things. Next one that I'm into, that's a big holding, is Elrond. Well, it's not called Elrond anymore. It was called Elrond when I got into it in 2020. Now it's called Multiverse X, but the symbol is EGLD. You can buy EGLD through Coinbase. You can get it on Exodus Wallet. If you swap out from one crypto to another, you can get EGLD on Exodus Wallet. You can get it there and other places too, but it's available on Coinbase. So I think Multiverse X, I like Elrond, that name, better than Multiverse X actually, but whatever. I'm gonna always call it, I think, Elrond, because it's like that's what it was called when I got into it. But I think it's a solid crypto, and I think it'll do really well. Estimates for this are like a 10 to 20x, easy, getting up to the $500 or $600 to $1,200 range. Probably in the bull run is probably a good price point for Multiverse X, is probably what I'm thinking. So that's the other one that I'm into. Okay, so the next one I'm into has potential gains that potentially could be 100x gains. They might not be 100x, it might not be, but it could be. And that is Holochain, HOT. This is an ERC20 token. Holochain, this has a lot of potential to it, and there's a lot of talk about it on Twitter. And I think it's got a lot of utilitarian value, and it's not just a shit coin. It's often underlooked, but it's like these underlooked cryptos can have incredible gains if you get into them at the right time. So it's like, Holochain or Holotoken or Holochain is what I'm into. So HOT is the symbol. It's an ERC20 token, like I said. Okay, so next one is Telcoin. This is ticker symbol TEL. This is also an ERC20 token. I was in Telcoin, got back in there in 2020. It did really well. And last bull run, I didn't cash out of anything. I should have, but I didn't. But it's still way up from what I, paid for it when I got into it. So I think it's going to do really well again this bull run. So I'm going to cash out of it this time. I'm going to cash out of all these, as many as I can, this bull run, right? That's my plan. That's my strategy. So Telcoin, I think, is definitely going to do well. What are the estimates for Telcoin? I looked these things up. So people think like a 50 to a 70x is probably reasonable to expect for TEL coin. So that's from where we are price points right now as I'm shooting this video, basically. So 50 to 70x potential for that. Okay, very cool. The next one that I want to talk about is Origin Trail. This is ticker symbol TRAC, TRAC. No, it's an ERC20 token. By the way, there is a BRC20 token, like a Bitcoin ordinal token called TRAC, TRAC as well. This is not what I'm talking about. I don't know why the hell they picked the same symbol as Origin Trail on an ERC20 network. I do not know, but I'm talking about Origin Trail, TRAC on the Ethereum network, the ERC20 token. Origin Trail, it has, I think, incredible potential, and it's got it. As with all cryptos, do your research. You can find a lot of information on Origin Trail on YouTube and on the web, and on Twitter too. People will talk about it. It's got a lot of great potential, and I think it's going to merge with the AI play, with the artificial intelligence play. I think it's going to be really good, and I think it's going to rise quite a bit. So it's like the TRAC should perform pretty well. What are some people thinking? TRAC, let me just look here. So probably reasonable expectations for TRAC. It's right now at about $1, and reasonable expectations are like a $10 to $30 TRAC, in the bull run. So 10 to 30x. So not a bad return at all. I think it could probably get a 20 to 30x. I think a 10x is pretty conservative, but I think it could do that pretty easily. So okay, so anyway, so that's Origin Trail, that's TRAC. Let me talk about VeChain. VeChain is a big holding of mine. It's a solid, this isn't an ERC20 token, it's its own native cryptocurrency. I think it's going to do really well. A lot of people think it could do like a 20 to 25x probably in the bull run. So solid crypto to be in. I think it's definitely one to check out. You can buy VeChain on Coinbase. You can get it on Binance. You can also swap for it in Exodus wallet from one crypto to VeChain. You can get it that way too. So you can get VeChain. It's definitely a good one that I believe in, that I did a lot of research on last bull run, and I was like, man, VeChain is pretty cool. I'm going to get into VeChain. That's why I like it. I also got into the next one I'm going to talk about is Digibyte, ticker symbol DGB. DGB is, again, it's an ERC20 token. It's its own coin, its own crypto. And I got into it last bull run because I thought it was going to perform pretty well. And, I think this bull run, it's going to perform even better than it did last bull run. So estimates like that, the biggest estimate, the highest one that I've heard is from Caesar. Caesar Gets Crypto. He said that he thinks Digibyte could get up to potentially $1.50. Now that's a crazy return, because Digibyte right now is about 1 cent. So to get up to $1.50 is like 150x return. That's a pretty huge return. It would be nice to see those, but even if we only let's get a 50x return, well, that's a pretty damn good one there too. So definitely good returns. Those are the ones that actually, one last one that I want to talk about is Zilliqa. Zilliqa is also a very big holding of mine. I got into it, like I said, before last bull run, so back in 2020. And Zilliqa, a lot of people are thinking could hit about $1 a token. So it's not an ERC20 token. It's its own crypto, own coin. And right now it's sitting around 2 cents, 2.5 cents or something like that. So it's about a 40x return from right now to get up to $1. So that's a pretty solid return. So Zilliqa, the Zilliqa blockchain has a lot of use cases, and it's got a lot of promise. And I'm thinking the hype into one of the big things, we have two big hype things this crypto cycle that are said to be hype things, right? One is the AI, the artificial intelligence play. The other is the game token, the gaming play, right? And I think Zilliqa is going to kind of fall into the gaming play, into the metaverse play, because it's all that stuff is going to, I think, do well. I think Zilliqa should do well as a result of that. And Zilliqa also is Zilliqa is one of these blockchains where it's easy to stake it. Like if you have Atomic Wallet, for example, you can stake your Zilliqa and you get 10% annual yield. So that's a pretty nice return. For Zilliqa, you probably don't want to be doing that, at least for very long prior to the bull run, if you're into it now, because if your intent is to sell off your Zilliqa, well, it takes 20 some days to actually unstake your Zilliqa to actually get it back to your wallet to be able to sell it. So you don't want to do that too long. Multiverse X used to, when it was called Elrond. I don't know if they still have that. Fetch AI does offer staking. So they used to offer staking, by the way. It was really easy with the native FET ERC20 token. You could just stake it for a while, but then towards the end of their staking program, they converted all the FET ERC20 tokens to native FET, their own blockchain. And after that point, you had to move them off the exchange to your own wallet on the was it Cosmos Station? Yeah, I think is the name of the wallet. And that, if you hold your fetch there, your native FET, not the ERC20 token, but your native FET, you can do staking there. The problem, the pain in the ass that is present with Fetch, if you want to do staking, is if you buy the native ERC20 token FET, you have to convert it. There's a website where you can convert that native token to or the ERC20 token to native FET, and then the native FET is what you take and you can stake. And then when you're done staking it, if you want to sell it off on the open market, you basically have to convert it again from native FET back to the ERC20 token to sell it. It's a huge pain in the ass. It's not stuff for beginners. You got to have a MetaMask wallet. You got to have the Fetch AI wallet. You got to have Cosmos Station. It's kind of a pain in the butt. But you can do it if you do want to stake that for rewards as well. The other ones that I talked about do not have staking rewards that I'm aware of. I don't think they do. And if you see a staking reward for like Holochain or Quant, just be aware it might be a scam. They might be wanting to get you to deposit your cryptos so that they can take them. So don't. The only ones that I know that are available for staking are, again, Fetch AI and Zilliqa. And Zilliqa is a lot easier to stake. It's like if you get the Atomic wallet on your iPhone, on your Android, or on your desktop, on your Mac, and I think it runs on PC too. You can stake your Zilliqa there and get about 10% or so per year, which is pretty nice. So anyway, so those are some of the top, those are my top cryptos that I'm into in my native cryptocurrency portfolio. Again, just to run through these, top ones are Fetch AI, which is FET, F-E-T, Quant, which is QNT, DENT, which is DENT, Multiverse X, which is EGLD, Holochain, which is HOT, hot, Telcoin, which is TEL, Origin Trail, which is TRAC, TRAC, not to be confused with the TRAC on that's a BRC20 token. This is an ERC20 token. Also VeChain, Digibyte, Zilliqa. Those are some solid cryptos that I am in and that I believe in, that I think are going to do really well, that you might want to, if you're looking for different options to diversify into or get into, you might want to think about those things. Again, nothing is guaranteed in terms of returns, all that kind of stuff. And I'm just a dude in a Jeep. None of this is financial advice of any kind in any way. But those are some of the things I'm into. I will also come out with a video, I think, where I talk about some of the more speculative coins that I'm in, the meme coins and stuff like that, and why I got into them, and the unknowns, like the dark horses that might perform really well, and they really could, but they're not my ride or dies. Like I'm much more heavily invested into the cryptos that I think have good utilitarian value and that are going to be longer lived. I want things that are going to be around for a while, just in case I don't cash out of them during one crypto bull run. I want them to still be around the next bull run. I got into basically the risk with speculative cryptos, by the way, is that they can go to zero or pretty damn close to zero. There were a couple highly speculative cryptos, ERC20 tokens, that I got into right at the end of 2020. I was like, okay, I'm going to put like $1,000 each into like these super speculative, super sketchy cryptos. And most of them went to zero or pretty much near zero. They just faded away. And that's the risk when you get into speculative, risky cryptos, right? On the one hand, they could moonshot. They could do 1,000x, but they could also go to zero. But, projects like Fetch AI, Quant, DENT, Multiverse X, all the ones I talked about, they're not sketchy, right? They've been around for a while, they've been around the block, and they're going to be here for a while. So they're solid cryptos to get into, in my opinion. All right, hope you guys are doing well. I have no idea when I'm going to do the next video at all. I had no idea. Part of me feels like I've run out of things to talk about. I don't know what the hell to talk about anymore. So I'll do a talk on my sketchy ass crypto portfolio where I'm into the meme coins and stuff like that. Probably is my next video. I'll see you guys in the next one. You guys take care.